Hello everyone, in this particular video tutorial I will show you how to perform multicollinearity test in Stata using variance inflation factor, which is also known as VIF, as well as tolerance test. Please take notes before you can perform variance inflation factor or tolerance test in Stata. You need to first import your data. Once you import your data into Stata, then you declare your data as time series or whatever. Once you do that, the next thing to do is to estimate your regression model. So here I have my regression model. You can see it here, and you can see that I've already uploaded or imported my data. Here is productivity, inflation, Brent, WTI, nominal exchange rate. Now if you look at this regression model, you will see that I have productivity, inflation, nominal exchange rate, Brent. Let me add WTI. WTI and Brent are measures of energy prices. So the probability of having a multicollinearity issue here is very high. Why? Because these variables are prices of energy. And as you can see here, productivity is a dependent variable, while inflation, WTI, Brent, and nominal exchange rates are independent variables. To compute VIF, you first need to estimate your regression. So let me estimate this. Execute. You can see my results here. Here is my result. This is the model I estimated, and this is my result. But the point is, we don't need to bother ourselves about these results. What we are interested in is the multicollinearity test. So the next thing to do is to estimate this, is to execute this VIF. You need to run VIF test, and you can just type VIF here, VIF, then enter. Here is our variance inflation factor results. Please take note, this is variance inflation factor, while this is tolerance. You understand? But before I explain this result, let me quickly show you some things here. You see, the outputs here include VIF for each variable. You see VIF for Brent, WTI, inflation, nominal exchange rate. It also includes the mean VIF. You understand? Also, it includes the tolerance. Here we have the tolerance. By the time you are reporting this result, you can change this one to tolerance. This one, this part is tolerance. And the decision rule is very straightforward. If the value of your VIF is around 1, it simply means that there is no problem of multicollinearity. This one, you can see here, this one is around 1, it's about around 2. This one is around 2. So we can conclude that there is no problem of multicollinearity here. But also, if VIF is greater than 1 but less than 5, you can still say there's no problem of multicollinearity. In addition to that, if VIF is greater than 5 but less than 10, you can still conclude that, okay, the multicollinearity issue is moderate. There's nothing to worry about. You understand? But if VIF is above 10, is 10 and above, that is a serious multicollinearity problem, and it must be addressed. If you look at it here, Brent is 23, that's far above 10. This one too is 23.22, far above 10. And if you look at the mean VIF, you will see that it is above 10. Between anything 10 and above is a serious multicollinearity problem. So here, please take note, this is a centered VIF. But if you estimate a model without a constant, here we have a constant, so the best is centered VIF. But if you now estimate your own model without a constant, then you can go for uncentered VIF. Then you need to execute this code. But for this particular tutorial, this is the best code. We don't need to execute this. But if you estimate your model without a constant, then you can go for this. Now that we are certain that this particular model has multicollinearity issue, and we have identified the two variables that leads to that issues, the next thing to do is to first examine the two variables. Which of the two variables is core variable? Which one is control variable? Which one can be used for robustness check? You understand? So now let's assume that Brent is the core variable in this particular model. So I need to go back and drop WTI. You understand? Then I need to drop this WTI and re-estimate the model. You understand? So now I've dropped WTI. Let me re-estimate the model. Execute. You can see now that I have a new set of coefficients for inflation, nominal exchange rate as well as Brent. So the next thing to do is to run the VIF test, execute. Now I have my VIF test, which is perfect. You can see the VIF for inflation, for nominal exchange rates as well as Brent is normal. VIF for inflation is normal, Brent is normal, nominal exchange rate too is normal, and the mean VIF is also less than 10. So I can conclude that this model is free from multicollinearity problem. So once I've confirmed that, I can now proceed with my analysis. I can do any other thing that I want or check for any other issue. Now another method that can be used to check for multicollinearity problem is tolerance. I told you the other time that this is tolerance. And what is the division rule? The division rule is very simple and straightforward. If this value is less than 0.1, it simply means that there is a serious multicollinearity issue. And if you look at the first model I estimated, this is the first model, you see, where I have Brent and WTI together, and the tolerance for Brent is less than 0.1, for WTI too is less than 0.1. So that shows that this is perfect. You understand? It shows that what the findings obtained using variance inflation factor is accurate. So now we can confirm based on variance inflation factor and tolerance test that there is a multicollinearity issue in this particular model. You understand? And the two variables responsible for that is Brent and WTI. And now when I dropped WTI, then let's check for variance again, tolerance again. You can see here that the tolerance or value for inflation, nominal exchange rates, and Brent, the values are greater than 0.1. So we can say that based on the results of variance inflation factor as well as tolerance, this particular model is free from the problem of multicollinearity. Now there are some common mistakes that you must avoid when you are using or when you are performing multicollinearity tests using variance inflation factor as well as tolerance. First is that you must ensure that you run your VIF after you must have estimated your model. There are some people that want to run VIF without estimating the regression model. You will not even get the results. Also, you must not ignore VIF in your model. When you have a high VIF here now, if I proceed with my analysis using these two variables, I will certainly come up with a biased result. You understand? Unstable coefficients, unstable results. So you must not ignore these values. You must ensure that you address it either by dropping one of the two variables, or you can center the variable. You understand? You can center the two variables. You can also come up with an index using these two variables. And if you like, you can use a rigid regression model or principal components regression. And the last thing you need to avoid, or the mistake that you must not make when you are using VIF or tolerance, is that using VIF in nonlinear models like logit probits is not appropriate. Don't use VIF when you are using logit or probits model. You understand? You can only use VIF when you are using a standard regression model, that is ordinary least squares. So with this, we have come to the end of this particular video tutorial. Please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share it with your colleagues and other students in your class. And in case you have any question, please make use of the comment section so that you can post your question and we'll surely address it. In case you missed the first video on the multicollinearity test, you can also check our channel. In that particular video, we explain what multicollinearity is, why we need to avoid multicollinearity issues in our studies, and also the various approaches that can be used to check for multicollinearity tests, multicollinearity issues in Stata. Thank you.